name is Maria Michaela C. Astronomo, your teacher for today. Now, before we discuss our main topic, let's talk about or recall our previous topic. So, what are the different types of angles? The first one, yes, acute angle. The second one, yes, right angle. Third one is the obtuse angle. The fourth one, straight angle. The fifth one, reflex angle, and the last is the full rotation or full angle. These are two angles that share vertex and side but do not overlap. What pair of angles is this? Yes, exactly. It is an adjacent angles. Let's proceed to our first activity. It is called Find My Angle Pair. I will distribute these papers. It is written with angles, and you will find your pair to match, to have a matched angle. So now, each one of you will have this paper, and of course, you will find your partner. Then, you will write your matched form on a paper, then submit it to me. Got it? Okay. Our topic is all about linear pairs and vertical angles theorem. From the activity, we observed that there are some two angles matched together with non-common sides that form an opposite rays or a straight line. And this is called, or this example is called, a linear pair of angles. However, when two angles are located across from one another and the corners of an X formed by two straight lines, it is called a vertical angles. Angle A and angle B are vertical angles. Angle C and angle D are vertical angles. Vertical angles are equal in measure. Let's proceed to our second activity. It is called measuring intersection. Now you will draw two intersecting straight lines on a paper. You will write it on a paper, making an X figure. Okay? And then label the angles A, B, C, and D in clockwise order. Now, measure all four angles using a protractor and record the measurements using a table. Like this. This is an example of a table. And then, you will observe patterns and calculate. Calculate this. Angle A plus angle B equals, or angle C and angle D equals. And lastly, you will compare and identify if there are supplementary angles and congruent angles. Okay, got it? And now, what are linear pairs of an angle? So, linear pairs of an angle are always supplementary as they form on a straight line. Or in other words, the sum of two angles in a linear pair is always 180 degrees. On the other hand, what are vertical angles theorem? Any hand? So, vertical angles, again, are always congruent, and vertical angles, such as angle 1 and angle 2, form a linear pair with the same angle. And that's the same for the opposite side. And then, to prove that they are congruent, we must use a linear pair method. So, how? Okay, so to use the linear pair method, you will pair angles 1 or angle 1 and 4 and equals to 180 degrees. Then another angle 2 and angle 4 again equals to 180 degrees. With substitution, angle 1 plus angle 4 is 180 and angle 2 and angle 4 is also 180. So angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. Am I clear? So those are the definition of linear pairs and vertical angles theorem. Now, let's proceed to our fourth activity. So our fourth activity, you will find 3 things. 2 things like, for example, long stuff, pencils, rulers, and etc. And then you will find a rubber band to hold them together. You can find a fastener maybe, or just anything that can hold the 2 things. So for example, I will put them all together. Again, we have this. And then hold these 2 things together in the middle to form an X. Okay, let's form this an X. This represents 2 intersecting lines. Okay, now we have this. And then I will ask you to perform these 3 simple movements. Okay, the first one, the squeeze. Slowly close the scissors and see what happens. So, angles 1 and angles 3 get smaller at the exact same time. Then the stretch. The second one is the stretch. Open the scissors wide. Again, this happens. And then what? And then angles 2 and 4 get larger at the exact time. And then the constant. The third one is the constant. Look at the relationship between the opening and its neighbor. What happens? Okay, as one angle steals the space, its neighbor loses that exact same amount of space. They always stay balanced on the straight edge of the ruler, or 180 degrees. This is 180 degrees because 180 degrees is a straight line. But when you do this, then we have an angle. Okay, the question is, now let's proceed to creating now I will give you a task and you create an essay. This is the question. How is it important to follow geometric rules in proving or solving any linear pairs and vertical angles with their theorems? You will write it on a paper. One whole paper. Okay? Got it? Now, we will have an assessment to track what you have learned. Okay. Now, this assessment have 2 parts: identification and problem solving. The identification, you will solve and answer SA if it is supplementary angle, CA if it is congruent angle, and NA if neither the 2. And then the problem solving, identify if the given pair of angles is a linear pair or vertical angles. So this part will have 4 items. So good luck and answer. And now, let's proceed to our 5th activity. So you can find it at home. You will take a photo of a linear pair and a vertical angle in your home, like table legs or tile floor, and etc. and label those angles. Okay, you will submit it on our next meeting. And now, this is the end of our discussion. I hope you have learned a lot, and thank you for listening. And that's all. Thank you for your participation. Bye!